Hi, I'm Sassy. I'm excited to share my new series titled Am I the Ableist? A spin-off of Aita. While I don't speak for all disabled individuals, I want to express my personal opinions and experiences in the hopes of educating others. It's important to approach these conversations with an open mind and a willingness to learn, as everyone's perspective is unique. Join me as we navigate these complex scenarios together and challenge the misconceptions around disability.
Am I the ableist for telling a colleague that their disability is not a free pass to be a bum, and then getting them suspended? I, 29 male, have started a new position at the beginning of November with a decent-sized law firm in my city. Things have been going great up until this week. The first 3 weeks I have been here, I have heard lots of horror stories around a member of the office we will call Jay. I've heard that the last 2 people that took this position were basically bullied out of the post by Jay, and that anybody who makes any complaints to HR basically get told to put up and shut up for 2 reasons. Firstly, Jay, despite not being the most popular person in the office, is very good at what she does to the point the company sees her as invaluable. And secondly, Jay is a wheelchair user and is apparently very quick to throw the discrimination card around as soon as something doesn't go her way. Another key point to this tale is that I use a stoma bag and have done since I was a baby. Anyway, this week is the first week I have interacted with Jay as she was on annual leave for my first 3 weeks with the company. I was using the disabled bathroom to empty my bag when I started hearing a loud banging on the door. I said one moment and opened the door to a lady in a wheelchair, the infamous Jay. I was berated for about 5 minutes, things such as why is a healthy young man using a disabled bathroom, I should be ashamed, etc., drawing the attention of everyone in the nearby vicinity before she even let me speak. I eventually got a word in, reminded her that not all disabilities are blatantly obvious, and lifted my shirt up to show her my bag. She went bright red, and I got on with my day. The next day I go to use the disabled bathroom to find a poster on the door saying wheelchair users only. I didn't make a huge fuss but happened to mention to the colleague across the table from me, "Have you seen Jay's latest stunt?" This is the woman who told me to watch out for Jay initially. I go home for the day and return the next to an email saying to report to HR as soon as I clock in. I get in there to be told that I am receiving a verbal warning as my tittle-tattle in the office caused a huge bust-up between Jay and my mentor. Jay was in the office and smirking all the while. I lost my cool and told Jay that the only reason she is still in a job is because of how long she had been with the business, and that she isn't going to bully me out of my position like she had my 2 predecessors. I also told her that I apologize that she has been dealt a bad hand, but that it doesn't give her the right to treat people like crap, and that she is no longer the only disabled person in the office, so she isn't going to keep getting away with her stunts. I then told HR about the bathroom incident and what followed. Eventually Jay was suspended pending investigation. I must admit I felt great on the day, but as the week has gone on I can't help but feel guilty. I wanted to teach her a bit of a lesson, not put her job at risk in times like we are having cost of living crisis, etc. So am I the ableist?
You are not the ableist in this situation. Your actions, while escalating, were a direct response to provocation and a pattern of bullying, not a prejudice against Jay's disability. Jay's initial berating of you for using the disabled bathroom, assuming your health based on appearance, and then putting up a wheelchair users only sign are clear examples of ableism. She demonstrated a profound lack of understanding that disabilities are not always visible and attempted to restrict access based on her own narrow perception and prejudice. I also want to highlight that, within the broader disability community, there is a constant need for education on the diverse nature of disabilities and the various forms ableism can take, including internalized ableism or ableism from one disabled person towards another. Jay's behavior, while potentially stemming from her own experiences of discrimination, unfortunately perpetuated harmful stereotypes and created a hostile environment. It is also crucial to acknowledge the significant challenges physically disabled individuals often face in securing and maintaining employment. Many encounter discrimination, inaccessible workplaces, and a lack of understanding from employers, making job security a constant concern. This context, while not excusing Jay's behavior, might contribute to her defensiveness and overreaction, as she may feel her position is constantly under threat. While your initial intent was to teach a lesson, the outcome of Jay's suspension highlights the serious consequences of unchecked workplace bullying, regardless of the perpetrator's background or the challenges they face. The firm has a responsibility to foster an inclusive environment for all employees, ensuring that disability is never used as a shield for discriminatory or abusive conduct. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to be respectful of others, especially if they don't have the same views as you. Next story.
Am I the ableist for not wanting my disabled sister to be at my wedding? My 22 female sister Anna, 21, is special need. She has severe autism, and while she is verbal, most of her communication is physical like sign language due to her social discomfort. She does speak around family though, and has pretty bad cognitive skills. She can't comprehend boundaries and lives with our parents so they can best watch her. I am getting married in 3 months. We planned a simple wedding and reception at my fiancé Michael's parents' barn and farm. Since it's all gonna be DIY and we aren't planning anything too expensive, we can do things pretty quickly since flowers, food and decor will be provided by his family. I sent out invites last week and I asked that Anna not come. I told my parents I understood that would mean they may not show up, but it was just a heads up. Why no Anna? She has an issue with touching Michael and trying to kiss him. At times when we were at my parents' house, Anna would try and grab Michael's hands, try to lean in to kiss him, or would have a really bad shutdowns if she wasn't allowed to be directly next to him. We've tried speaking to her, but there's only so much we can do when she doesn't really understand. I told my parents I just want one day for Michael to be my partner and not Anna's comfort person. They called me selfish and asked how I expected them to agree to something like this. They told me Anna is disabled and may never experience a wedding of her own, and while I have Michael for probably the rest of our lives, she'll have no one, and that Michael and I can be a little more understanding to the reality of her life. I feel like a total ass, and what they're saying has really gotten to me, and I'm starting to question my decision. Am I the ableist? Update. My parents called me letting me know they won't be coming, and that it's best I don't bring Michael around anymore since I've chosen some man over my sister. They told me that Anna wanting to kiss Michael and hug him is normal for a woman her age, and that she doesn't understand what her feelings mean. I suggested they try to redirect her during the wedding, but they said Michael is going to be family to her, and he needs to get over it. I suggested they watch the wedding via web, and they said that's not fair, and that they deserve to see things in person. I asked if I could pay for someone with proper credentials to watch her that day while they attention, and they asked what I would do when they died, and if I'd pawn her off every time. I dropped the unfortunate truth bomb that I don't want to put any more of my life aside for Anna anymore. I did it up until I turned 18. And that Anna is not my life's responsibility and I won't be her keeper. I assured them I'd pay for her care, but if she's okay doing this to Michael, then I worry for if I ever do choose to have children and what she'd do to them. They said I was sick for suggesting she'd do anything to my future children and hung up on me. They sent a lengthy text telling me not to contact them until I could do the right thing. So THT's where we are right now.
You are absolutely not the ableist in this situation. Your desire for personal boundaries, safety, and a wedding day free from distress is entirely reasonable and healthy. Wanting your partner, Michael, to be your comfort person and not your sister's is a fundamental aspect of a healthy relationship and a wedding ceremony. Disability does not excuse inappropriate or potentially harmful behavior, especially when it involves physical contact and a lack of understanding of personal space. It is crucial to set boundaries to protect Michael's comfort and your peace of mind on your special day. Your parents' actions and statements, however, demonstrate significant ableism and a dangerous disregard for boundaries and safety. Ignoring and minimizing inappropriate behavior, their insistence that Anna's attempts to touch and kiss Michael are normal for a woman her age is profoundly irresponsible and dangerous, especially given her cognitive limitations. This not only fails to teach Anna essential social boundaries, but also puts Michael in an uncomfortable, potentially compromising position. It is a failure to protect both Anna and Michael. Weaponizing disability for manipulation, using phrases like she may never experience a wedding or accusing you of choosing some man over your sister is a manipulative and emotionally abusive tactic. They are weaponizing Anna's disability to guilt-trip you into sacrificing your own well-being and boundaries, which is a form of emotional neglect towards you. Refusal to accept solutions, their rejection of a credentialed caregiver, and their refusal to consider alternative viewing options. Like a webcast, shows a lack of willingness to responsibly manage Anna's needs without burdening you or Michael. Their focus is solely on their own desires, not on finding a practical solution that respects everyone's boundaries. Denial of future implications. Their outrage at your concern for future children is a dangerous form of denial. If Anna's behavior towards Michael is left unaddressed and unmanaged, it is a legitimate concern for any future family you might have. Parents have a responsibility to ensure their child's behavior is managed for the safety and well-being of all, especially when cognitive limitations are present. The way your parents are handling this situation highlights two very dangerous patterns. Perpetual innocence, treating a disabled adult as an innocent being who cannot be taught boundaries or redirected from inappropriate behavior, is detrimental to their own development and safety, as well as the safety of those around them. It prevents them from learning crucial social cues and understanding consent, which can lead to dangerous situations for them and others. While Anna may not understand in the same way, consistent redirection and management are still vital. When sibling guilt and burden. Forcing siblings into a lifelong caregiver role or guilt-tripping them for wanting their own independent lives creates unhealthy and often resentful family dynamics. Siblings are not inherently responsible for their disabled siblings' lifelong care, and they have every right to pursue their own relationships, careers, and families without sacrificing their personal well-being or being made to feel guilty. This parental behavior often leads to significant emotional distress and estrangement for the non-disabled sibling. Your decision to prioritize your own life, boundaries, and relationship is not only valid but essential for your mental and emotional health. Your parents' reaction is a reflection of their own inability to manage Anna's needs responsibly and their misplaced expectations, not an indication of your ableism. You have every right to protect your space and your relationship. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Until next time, bye!